Welcome back to another episode of the Tony Montana channel. I'm walking my dogs and I figured let me answer a couple of questions that I've answered before, but apparently they have to go through my videos to get the answer. So I figured let me do this while I'm walking. Someone asked me tonight or this afternoon, what made me get my first Chico Lopez dog? Okay, where to go? We have to go back to maybe 15 years ago. 15 years ago. At that time, I already had pit bulls. I already had pit bulls for a while, but I was feeling like these pit bulls that I've had weren't top shelf. Let's use that word. Okay, I didn't think it was top shelf, so I did my research here and there, a little bit here, a little bit there, hearing stories this here and there. At this point, I still wasn't reading the journal. I wasn't into that journal stuff because at this point, I already knew the journal was fading, was losing its luster. Still had Jack Kelly, but I think depending on when it was, I wasn't really trusting the information that I was hearing in journals and other type of magazines related to the American Pit Bull Terriers. So I basically had to listen and read, like you guys, a lot of the stories. Move back. A lot of the stories, and eventually I came across stories from an open house kennels. I found their website, and it seems like they have dogs for sale. At this time, like I said, I wasn't aware that he was promoting on those journals that he had no dogs for sale. I had no problem. I didn't get no interview. I basically had money. He had dogs for sale. At this time, it was Little John dogs. We had Cuban Missing Link work that he was selling. Basically, I think his main start at the time was a dog called Main Event, which ended up dying of starvation in Mexico, because along with a lot of dogs, so basically Chico Lopez decided not to feed anymore. So the dogs died of starvation on the chains in Mexico. This is from him telling me all this years after. Obviously, he said, you know, excuses, but bottom line, he didn't feed them and they died. Anyway, why did I get the dogs from him? Well, first, I was happy to take the baton from another Central American person, a person that I thought had my same culture. Clearly, we have way different cultures, he and I. So, but him being Honduran, and I'm being Salvadorian, figured there must be some honor to him. There must be some, you know, his word should mean a lot, like it means to me. My word is my most valuable commodity. Nothing, no amount of money is more valuable than my word. So I keep it that way. Not like this Chico Lopez that, you know, this dog right here ended up dominating his 2-year-old dog. I'm getting mad because he's like, oh, gassed me up, gave me a dog that was almost 4 months old, and he's like, oh, that's because I needed time to pick the best one. And ended up being even the puppy, even the black, not even black, even the small puppy, he's already seeing that the Chico Lopez dog is a cur. It's not a cur, but it's cold. So he's already, the little puppy's already showing signs of dominance over that dog. it is what it is. I got a shell of a dog that I paid too much money for, and I lost the money for another puppy I had paid right after I receiving the first dog. I'm like, hey, here you go. Because he was telling me he had some dogs of capybara, and I don't know who it was, but he was like, trust me, these are working bred, or these are working dogs. I guarantee it. Well, eventually it seems like he says, and I don't believe anything he says, oh, the female ate all the puppies. Sorry. But then I heard later, oh, not all the puppies, but yours isn't coming in that one. Apparently, obviously, since he already had my money, he decided not to give me that. So 2 years later, 2 years I was waiting for that pup. Oh, that bitch hasn't come in here yet. You know, I'm like, yo. But I was trying to be patient. I'm like, all right, whatever. In good faith, I'm like, you know, I don't think the thousands of dollars I gave him are worth, you know, that issue, you know, having issues with it. Because I was being, in those years, I was being very helpful. I wanted, like many people say, I was defending that guy, you know, left and right in social media. I'm good at, you know, smack talking, especially keyboard smack talking. I'm a fucking master. So anyway, I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand why I didn't think he was dumb enough that he would do anything to get me to be his enemy. But that happened with the dogs. He started BSing about me having sex with my dogs again, and then he started talking about his life when he was 9 years old, and you know, having sex with another 9-year-old boy, and both of them ended up being good men. I don't know if that happened when he was a Boy Scout. You know, I know that happened a lot in the Boy Scouts, and you know, he was a master in tying knots. So maybe that was part of the kinky play they had back in Honduras with the Boy Scouts. But anyway, that's the reason why I bought a couple of dogs from him. Then I stopped, had an issue that Chico Lopez obviously has advertised. I really didn't want to deal with any dogs for many years. I was just concentrating on raising my child, my daughter, and didn't want anything to destroy that. Eventually my daughter got old, moved away, and now I started a couple of years ago getting back into the dogs. I tried getting, I did get a German Shepherd, but that German Shepherd was not up to standard. And I'm a person that when I get something, I like to have it up to standard. So I give it away. I gave it away to a nice old lady that was retired, that had experience with German Shepherds, and that had just lost German Shepherds out of old age. So I was like, perfect. Person has knowledge and will be there to take care of the dog, and you know, the dog will be in a place that there's not too many sounds, and so on and so forth. But there was definitely a hole in my heart, and once I started getting this breed again, I felt this is it. So now I have them. They are my priority. They are number one in my life. The breed is. The dogs are second. And obviously, if any woman that's with me has to understand that. You know, I'm not into going clubbing, going to bars. No titty bars for me. None of that shit is interesting. I don't fuck around. So in that sense, I mean, woman needs to pick a guy like, you know, that she got to be tracking down, or a guy that this is their life. If they're not with them, if I'm not with them, I'm with the dogs. So that's my really life. I really enjoy it. I work, my career is for the dogs. The money I make is for my dogs. It's for us to enjoy life. But anyway, that's the reason why I got Chico Lopez dogs, and that's why we got into an argument. And yeah, that's that. And that's the reason why I have that Chico Lopez dog up for stud. And you'll get the dog, you'll get the stud service cheaper than if you buy one of those puppies Chico Lopez gives away or charges you an arm and a leg, like that bag matado or something that the one that the puppy that didn't want to jump off the wagon, you know, in Chico Lopez video, there was a male and a female. The female jumped just fine, like any normal male. But any normal female, any normal dog. The dog, you know, the female jumped just fine. But the puppy, it's like it could have been a precipice. You know, he was not courageous enough to jump that. Yet, Chico Lopez is very happy to sell you that dog and talk it up. And if he can't talk it up right now, he can't sell it. What he will do is he'll wait a little while for the dog to get a little older. Hey, this way. For the dog to get a little older, and then he'll call it some other name, perhaps even change the pedigree. Maybe say, oh, this is from another female, and he'll try to sell it that way. He'll even lie and say, oh no, the dog is younger, because it definitely looks small. But for people that don't know dogs,
that's how children look.
Come. For people that don't know dogs, they don't see that in the they don't see that in the videos. They don't see that that the dogs are talking to you. You know, like Chico Lopez, even though he had 30 years experience, he clearly didn't see that. Oh, he's just dumb enough to record that and make that as their part of the marketing. You know, people that know dogs saw that. I saw that very clearly. Since, you know, the small female, the young female, she looked all right. She looked normal in terms of, all right, you know, I don't see anything wrong in that video about that female. But certainly, that male should stay in Chico Lopez's hands, you know, or neuter it and give it away. That's the correct thing to do as a conscious breeder. But that's not Chico. You clearly see that he's trying to sell that dog. And you clearly saw what I saw. If you didn't, go back and watch that video. Record that piece, because he may erase it. So, anyway. Yo, grab your dog, man. I didn't even see your little dog. Anyway, this is Tony Montana signing off.